On a lonely back road, under a sky heavy with rain, Marcus thought he was just doing the right thing, helping a stranded bride in the middle of nowhere. But he didn't know. Her white dress was stained with more than just mud. And the man she had run from wasn't just rich. He was lethal. It was nearly midnight, and rain was falling in thick, heavy sheets over the winding backroads of rural Georgia. Marcus King kept his old pickup steady, the wipers struggling to keep up with the storm. He had just finished a long day at his small repair shop, the kind of place where everyone knew him as the man who could fix anything with a motor, and the man who never turned away someone in need. But tonight, the road ahead was strangely empty, the world swallowed in darkness, until his headlights caught something that didn't belong. A figure standing on the side of the road. At first, Marcus thought it was a trick of the rain, but as he slowed, the shape became clearer. A woman, barefoot, wearing a wedding dress that was torn and muddied, clinging to her in the storm. She wasn't holding an umbrella, just a crushed bouquet, her arms wrapped tightly around herself. Marcus eased the truck to a stop and rolled the window down. "Ma'am, you okay out here?" She turned slowly toward him. Her eyes were wide, as if she'd been running for hours. Her lips trembled before she spoke. "Please, just drive. Don't ask me anything." Marcus hesitated, every instinct warning him that this was more than a case of cold feet at the altar. But the rain was soaking her to the bone, and he could never ignore someone in trouble. She climbed in, leaving a trail of muddy footprints on the worn passenger mat. The air inside filled with the scent of rain and roses and something faintly metallic. For the first few miles, neither of them spoke. Marcus stole glances at her through the corner of his eye. Her veil was torn, strands of hair plastered to her face. Her makeup had run down her cheeks, but it wasn't just rain that streaked her skin. He finally asked, "Where am I taking you?" "Somewhere. Far," she whispered, her gaze locked on the side mirror. "Anywhere he can't find me." "Who?" Marcus asked. She didn't answer. Instead, her hands clutched the bouquet so tightly the stems snapped. That's when Marcus saw the faint bruises on her wrists, the kind that came from being grabbed too hard. They were still miles from town when two pairs of headlights appeared behind them, gliding through the rain with unnerving precision. The woman stiffened. "It's him," she breathed, voice almost inaudible. Marcus glanced in the mirror. "Who's him?" "Damon Cross." The name rang in Marcus's mind. He had heard it in hushed tones before. A man who owned clubs, casinos, and people. A millionaire with more enemies than friends, yet untouchable because of the fear he commanded. The rumors were darker than most dared to speak aloud. Missing rivals, threats that didn't stop until someone disappeared. And now Damon Cross was chasing her. The SUVs behind them closed in. One swerved slightly, edging toward Marcus's truck. "Hold on," Marcus muttered. Gripping the wheel, he swung the truck onto a narrow dirt road he knew well, one that wound through thick woods. Mud splattered the sides as they barreled forward, branches scraping the roof. The SUVs followed, their beams slicing through the trees. Ava, she had finally told him her name in a trembling whisper, clutched the dashboard. "If they catch us, he'll kill me. And you." They didn't stop until Marcus found cover under an old bridge, the roar of rain muffling their breaths. He turned to her, demanding the truth. Her voice shook as she told him everything. Damon wasn't her ex-fiancé. He was a man her father had forced her to marry to settle a debt that could never be repaid. She had agreed, thinking she could survive it quietly. But the night of the wedding, she learned the truth. Damon planned to make her disappear within days, seize her family's land, and sell it for the gold rumored to lie beneath it. She had run before he could carry out the plan, taking only the wedding dress on her back and a burner phone she had found hidden in his office. On it were recordings, transactions, and names of people Damon had destroyed. Evidence that could ruin him if it reached the wrong hands. Marcus knew the smart thing to do was to walk away. This wasn't his fight. But looking at her, soaked, shivering, clinging to hope she barely had left, he couldn't. They started driving again, taking back roads and side streets Marcus had memorized over a lifetime. But Damon's reach was long, and by dawn, the SUVs found them again. This time, there was no escape route. They were forced into the gravel lot of an abandoned farm, the vehicles blocking every exit. The rain had slowed, but the air was heavier than ever. From one SUV, Damon Cross stepped out. Tall, sharp-featured, dressed in a dark suit that somehow stayed untouched by the mud. His smile was cold, the kind that made Marcus's stomach turn. "You really thought you could run from me, Ava?" Damon said, voice calm but laced with venom. Marcus stepped between them. "She's not going with you." Damon's eyes narrowed. "Do you know who I am?" Marcus met his gaze without blinking. "Don't care." For a tense moment, no one moved. Then, faint in the distance, came the sound of sirens. Damon's smirk faltered. Ava's hand slipped into Marcus's, and he realized she had made the call without him noticing. Not just to the police, but to someone Marcus trusted, a state trooper who knew his family. The SUVs peeled away, but Damon was too late. By the time he reached his own car, flashing lights flooded the lot. The evidence on the phone sealed his fate. Weeks later, Marcus was back at his shop when the bell above the door jingled. Ava walked in, this time in jeans and a simple white blouse, her hair free in the breeze. "You saved my life, Marcus," she said softly. I don't know how to thank you." "You don't have to," he replied. But when she smiled, the first real smile he'd seen from her, Marcus realized some rescues change more than just one life. Sometimes, they change the rescuers too.